how to have an ageless mind, how to use your mind to be able to affect your longevity. And so what I'd like everybody to do is stand up real quick. You're like, oh, I was just getting comfortable. Stretch out your body. Now, there was a study done by a Harvard psychologist. Her name was Ellen Langer, and this was back in the 70s. In 1979, she was noticing, she was looking at nursing homes, right? Senior homes. And are these some of the, how many people have ever spent some time visiting friends, family in a senior nursing home? It was all about, she was there, it's like, this is not the best place for people to thrive. Can you raise your hand if you agree with that? And she was like, how does the environment affect our health? How is the environment? And she did this experiment where she took 8 seniors, they were in their 70s, and she took them and she put them brought them to a monastery, right? A place where they're gonna spend 1 week. And it was a special kind of place because once these individuals, and a number of them had canes and they were walking out of the van, and they were just told here that you're gonna go in this place, we're gonna play a fun experiment, and you're going to pretend that it was 20 years ago. So instead of 1979, it's gonna be 1959. And you're gonna go there and you're gonna have conversations and you're gonna act as if you are 20 years younger. And she set up the environment to be able to support that. So everything that was on the news was current news. The magazine and the newspaper was reflecting current times there. And they had things that wouldn't get them out of state. There were no mirrors there for them to see themselves even, right? And so they wanted to create this environment for about 1 week. And they had another control group of guys and men that were in another environment, but the environment, it was in a changed environment. They were just told to reminisce about 20 years ago. Do you see the difference? Where one, it was really structured as if it was 1959. The other environment, they're telling the subjects, these men who are in their 70s also, just talk about the 1959s, right? What it was like to be back then. And then after 1 week, what do you think happened? What do you think happened after 1 week of them deeply immersed as if it was 1959? They were younger. And now what does that mean? How do you measure that, right? Well, they did it by physical strength. They gained physical strength. After just 1 week of being in this environment, they had better hearing. After 1 week, they had better eyesight. And their cognitive performance, like their intelligence actually improved. They did better on memory tests after just 1 week. And now how many people believe your environment affects your psychology? Raise your hand, right? And so that's the power we have of the power of imagination. And you think about how you can employ that towards your own personal growth and your own longevity. Now, when I'm talking about imagination, who has imagination in spades? Who are the fastest learners on the planet? Children. How fast can children learn things? A musical instrument or language compared to an adult, right? Because part of that is part of their nervous system is still gelling, and they ask lots of questions, and they have an imagination, right? And they also what? What do children do all the time? What do they want? They want to play, right? And then when I say play, you're thinking, when's the last time you actually played? And that's why I like environments like this, because as we grow older, the thing is people say, well, I stopped playing because, I'm growing older, right? But I think it's actually the opposite, that you grow older because you stop playing. Does that make sense? And so it's not just about living longer, it's about living better. Now, here's what we're gonna do. Look back center. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna play a game. We're gonna play a playful game because you are a child, and this is our monastery here where we're gonna pretend we're 8 years old again. We're 8 years old, you're gonna use your imagination. We always know imagination is more powerful than what? Knowledge. Who said that? Einstein said that, because knowledge is what is, but imagination is what could be. All the things in your life that you want to create are going to come out of your imagination. We do an annual event, and in our audience we had the author of The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. And I was like, oh, would you mind, sir, coming up here and just sharing some of your thoughts? And we had this deep conversation, and I asked him, what's your superpower? I want to know, like, you're a superhero to so many. What would you say is your superpower? And he says, Jim, my superpower is the same as everybody's superpower here. It's the superpower of imagination, right? And that's the power. If you want to be able to create an incredible life and you want to be a thermostat where you're setting the goals and it's happening as opposed to responding like a thermometer, you need that power of imagination. So you're going to tap into your imagination here in a moment. And what I'm going to ask you to do right now is go back to back. Go back to back with your partners, all 3 or 4 of you, all of you back to back, not just 2. And what I'm going to ask you to do here in a moment, you don't link arms, just go back to back. And in a moment, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. When I say 3, I want you to immediately turn around and you're going to choose one of the moves. Spider-Man, Black Panther, or who? Or Wonder Woman. And what I want you to do is I want you to pretend you have another superpower, and that's a superpower of mind reading, right? Empathy. I want you to pretend you're Professor X or Jean Grey, and that you're really mind melding with your new partners, your new friends, and I want you to do the best you can to be able to do the same superhero. Does that make sense? So I want you to connect with your new friends right now, energetically, mentally, emotionally, connect, and think of a superhero. And in a moment, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then all of you are going to turn around to face each other and then be that superhero. And the goal is to pick the same one. And if you pick the same one, I want you to celebrate like an 8-year-old. What are you going to do? Show me. What are you? No, like really celebrate. What are you going to do? All right, fantastic. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Shh. Raise your hand if you won that time. Raise your hand for group 1. All right, we want to get more winners here. Go back to back. Let's try it again. Back to back. Shh. Now you're thinking of a superhero. You're tapping into your inner 8-year-old. So right now you've gained longevity right now just this session alone. Isn't that great? Because you're acting like an 8-year-old. And we know by acting as if, based on the Ellen Langer study out of Harvard, that you're already gaining age. You're gaining time. You'll be able to live longer, right? So I want you to think about a superhero, and this time you're thinking, oh, is she going to switch it on me? Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, we got to get more. Who won that time? Raise your hand. All right, let's do it one more time. Last time. Go back to back. Last time. Back to back. Go back to back. Shh. Now, really, like, put your fingers by your temples right now. Just really tune in to your part. What are they thinking right now? You're thinking like, and honestly, if you mess this up, it's not your fault. It's their fault. Tune into it. Group mind. How many people believe there's a universal mind or a group mind, right? A mastermind that when 2 or more people get together, they could create amazing things when there's clarity. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. 1, 2, 3.